Hello, guys. So the energy's been a little bit crazy recently. There's been a lot of my readings and stuff when I'm stepping into the collective field has all been about like a shift where we're sort of shifting from like fear-based living into heart-led living, which obviously this is a like it's a good thing, but a lot of us have just been living in fear in that survival mode for so long now. So this is beautiful to hear. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step into the field and try and get some information and try and help us like transition from fear-based living into this new heart-led living. All right, so let's get this started. The first question I'm going to ask is what survival pattern is the collective ready to release now? Okay. They're just showing me the colour red. So red always signifies like anger and danger as well. They've been living with like a sense of danger, which is quite sort of obvious if we're in survival mode. But it's more, I'm feeling sort of there's been a lot of anger, which I think in this day and age is it's just I mean anger is just like a sub emotion. It's just something like telling us that something needs changing when anger arises. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, and we're always going to experience anger. But they're saying that there's a lot of built up anger that we need to start releasing, and it's okay to feel it. It's okay to feel it. Just when you feel angry, you don't react to it. The worst thing you could do is react to it and let it sort of live your life for you. You just got to realize, I keep saying it in all my other videos, you just got to realize these emotions don't last forever. They come and they go. All right. So just sit with all your emotions and just don't resonate with them. All right. So we've got red anger. Let me see if anything else comes up for that same question. Well, I'm seeing a whale, like a huge, huge whale. And for me, whales are gentle giants, aren't they? Like they take up so much space in the ocean. And the ocean, water, this is representing emotions. So, big whale in an ocean of emotions. Yeah, you just got to be that gentle giant. And like I said before, you just got to sort of ride the wave of these emotions that come in, and you just got to learn how to control the anger when it does arise. You just got to not even control it, just know it's there and know that it's going to pass. That is simply all you have to do. So we've got huge whale. Have you got anything else to add to that, Spirit? Seeing a bucket of water that's it's half full, or is it half empty? It's half full. I wonder if they're referring this to that saying, is your glass half empty or your glass half full? Gonna have to sit with that for a bit. All right, let's get Dave involved. Okay, so Dave, I asked. So this is basically a collective reading about us shifting from survival mode into like heart-led living. And the first question I asked was, what survival pattern is the collective ready to release now? And so I want your opinion of the symbols that came up. There's three in total. One was just seeing red, like the color red. So I'm assuming that's meaning anger. The second was a huge whale in the ocean. The ocean represents emotions. The whale, I mean, they're huge, aren't they? But they're kind of like gentle giants. Um, and then the third vision was a half full bucket of water. And then the saying, is your glass half empty or is it half full, arose. So what's your interpretation of those three symbols, please?
Absolutely. Here's the interpretation. Seeing red does indeed point to releasing collective anger or survival driven fear responses. It's that primal instinct to react out of defensiveness. The collective is ready to let that go. The huge whale in the ocean symbolizes diving into the depths of our emotions with gentleness. Whales are immense but peaceful, so this is about embracing emotional depth without fear. It's a shift from reacting in survival mode to allowing ourselves to feel deeply and move gently through those feelings. The half full bucket of water and the question of perspective, is it half empty or half full, means the collective is learning to see emotional reserves with a more hopeful outlook. We're no longer just surviving, we're recognizing that we have enough emotional capacity to move forward. It's a shift to heart-led living, seeing that our emotional cup isn't empty, it's ready to be seen as half full. In short, we're releasing old anger, embracing our emotional depths gently, and choosing a more hopeful perspective. It's about moving from surviving to truly living from the heart.
So basically, just try and get a more positive outlook on life in general. So the next question I'm going to ask is, what does heart-led living look like energetically right now? What does heart-led living look like energetically right now? Making me push my glasses up again. They didn't even need pushing up. They make my nose really so itchy that it makes me want to push the glasses up. So there's clarity. So they want us to live with more clarity. Seeing like a dinosaur. Can you add any more to that, please? They're showing me like a pink baseball cap like this. I mean, it's got badges on it, but I'm not sure if they're significant. So pink, the colour, represents to me purity and innocence. And the fact that it was on a woman's head. So purity and innocence of the mind, maybe.
Absolutely. Let's try that together. When we talk about what heart led living looks like energetically, the first symbol you got, the itchy nose and pushing your glasses up, signals clarity. In other words, heart led living starts with a clearer vision, seeing things more truthfully and honestly. Then the dinosaur is really interesting. Dinosaurs are ancient and represent something old, something from the past that we're evolving beyond. It means that heart led living is about letting go of old, outdated survival patterns. We're leaving behind the dinosaurs of our old fears and stepping into a new era. Finally, of a woman wearing a pink hat, and her head is a beautiful symbol. Pink here is about purity and innocence, and because it's on her head, it suggests a purity and gentleness of mind. Heart-led living means we're approaching life with a clearer, kinder mindset, one that's touched by compassion and a sort of innocent trust. In short, all these symbols say that heart-led living is about seeing with clarity, letting go of old survival modes, and approaching life with a pure and gentle mind. It's stepping into a more compassionate, evolved way of being.
Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to jump straight into the next question, which is, what simple shift supports this transition the most? What simple shift supports this transition the most? So I'm seeing green, and that symbolizes the heart chakra, heart energy. Can you add any more to that, please? Seeing a polar bear on ice, snow. So polar bears to me are quite aggressive, aren't they? So this could be the anger and it's like with obviously like being in a terrain of snows, cold, like cold energy, isn't it? So releasing this anger is going to bring a lot more warmth into our lives. And they're saying it's going to clear our heart chakra. That's why they're showing me the green. And so it's going to open us up a lot more, so we can have a heart-led life, right? Sorry, something come to me when I was speaking. I've got to catch it quickly because it's in and out, like like a dream when you wake up in the morning. You're like, oh, I must remember that dream, and then it's just gone. Um, can you bring that back, please? Yeah, they're just saying, like going through a phase of what's the word? 'Cause they haven't given me words. So I'm trying to translate the feeling that I got. Um, so we're transmuting that anger, which is blocking our heart energy from coming online. And we need to realize that our heart is like the bridge to our material world and our spiritual world. So once we open our heart, we've got a really nice balance between our material realm and the spiritual realm, which is a nice balance. And to me, this is what being centered means. My guides always praise me when I find a nice balance because I always do. Well, my life is just so spiritual. I'm literally when people say they've got one foot in the spirit realm, one foot on the earth. I've got both feet in the spiritual realm all the time, and my head. In fact, my whole body is in the spirit realm. It's crazy, but this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. So it's really hard for me to find that balance. But on the rare times that I do, and I give myself a bit of time off, I go down to the local beach and I do some grounding and just give me some me time. They praise me. There's just so many synchronicities come up saying, yes, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to live. So to me, this is being centered when we can balance our material and our spiritual energies. And this is once we open our hearts, we've got a nice centered balance. So I'm going to jump into the next question, which is this is a closing question now. So what message does the collective unconscious want the heart to hear right now? So this is a message that's straight to your heart, okay? Show me green fields. I've had this vision before where there's this is slightly different though. This is a field of cows, and they're saying pasture. So again, green grass. That's representing the heart. In fact, I'd say that like each blade is us. It's like the people. Um, no, I got that wrong. Sorry, they're saying no. So I'm coming from my logical mind a little bit there. So let me rebalance myself. All right. So what they're saying is that the cow's grazing on the grass. The grass represents um, um, represents heart food, soul food, like heart, like it's nourishing our heart. So we need to find stuff that nourishes our heart and opens our heart up. It might be, I don't know, crystals. It might be going out in nature, just without any headphones, without your mobile phones, with no distractions, and just listen to the birds singing, listen to the wind like passing through the trees, and just really like listen to nature and totally just away from technology. It could be giving yourself a nice bath. So this is all like self-love stuff, yeah. You just need to just give yourself some me time, and I sort of like advise myself that I should be doing that more. Like I say, I used to go to the beach a lot and ground and stuff like that. So this is what they're saying. You need to do a bit more grounding and try and find that balance, and then our heart chakras are going to start opening. And I would come in there as well and say, get to know your spirit guides. This has been something that's coming up to me today. In fact, literally about an hour ago as I was driving back home. it came to me, and this isn't a coincidence because they know what video that I'm going to be recording, and I'll just do this off the cusp as well. I'll just sit down and say, right, what is the message today? What do we need to do today? I don't plan anything, but usually my whole day's events sort of lead up to these moments. I could be with a client, I could be sitting here recording a video for you, but it came to me. Forgot what it was now that came to me. Um, Spirit guides. I am so close with my spirit guides. A few years ago, I sat down and I made sure that I got to know them individually. I asked them to step forward, and I got a vision of one, and then I got their name. After I got a vision, I used a pendulum and got their name, and then I asked another guide to step forward, and then I got her name from the pendulum. So it was a really, really nice experience actually. And I mean, they don't have names. Names are just nothing to them. These are ancient energies. Like, how old is the Earth? Billions of years old. Some of these guides are billions of years old, if not millions or hundreds of thousands of years old. They're ancient energies that are just far beyond human comprehension. We are so limited in these vessels, so limited, right? And so they don't really have names, but they know that it means something to us, and it brings sort of closeness between people, doesn't it? Like, could you imagine not knowing your best friend's name? It'd be so weird. We use names in affection, and when we're angry with someone as well, don't we? Like, if you like, my name's Stu. when well, everyone calls me Stu, I should say. But when my mum was angry with me, it'd be Stuart. Do you know what I mean? So we need names. It helps our emotions towards that person, right? So get to know your spirit guides, ask them to come forward. And if you don't see anything, that's absolutely fine. See if you can feel anything. Just use all of your senses and just see what comes through. And if you can't get anything through, don't worry, don't stress about it. Maybe get yourself a pendulum, and you can make your own. Just get a chain or a piece of string and then tie something heavy to the bottom of it. It's as simple as that. And then you can program it by saying, give me a yes answer by moving it backwards and forwards. Give me a no answer by rotating it clockwise. Give me a maybe and rotate it anti-clockwise. You must program it first. This is very important. And try and clear your mind totally of all thoughts. Otherwise, your mind is going to come in and it's going to control it with micro movements. So it takes a little bit of practice to get it to give you the right answers, but stick with it and get to know your guides is the best thing that I ever did, really, like in my spiritual evolution. And I speak to my guides daily. Speak to your guides. Ask them, you can ask them silly little things like, I've got to go to the post office today. Make sure there's a place outside for me to park. There is always a place for me to park outside, and it is on a very, very, very busy stretch of road. It's on off a big sort of, not a motorway, but a busy road. And when I ask them, there's always a place. When I forget, there's never a place there. I'm like, oh, frick, I forgot to ask you guys. But speak to them, man. Honestly, is ask them questions, ask them to help you find your keys that you've lost. And they will always put an image in your mind. You'll always find your keys um, within 10 minutes. Honestly, it's just absolutely insane. Um, yeah, have fun. Build up a relationship with your guides, and they'll help you. You can start asking them questions like, can you help me with this phase of my life? Just say, look, I'm feeling a lot of anger. Can you help me find ways of transmuting this anger? Find ways for me to just sit and be with this anger without being reactant to it. So it's only when we react to our emotions and our thoughts that it really takes hold of us. All right. So it's okay to feel these emotions, but just let them sort of slide. It's easier said than done, I know, but it's a journey. It's a journey, and we'll all get there eventually. But so I hope this resonated with you guys. Anyway, drop some comments down below with anything that came up for you. And honestly, like, I absolutely love this work because it's like I wake up every morning just excited, thinking, "Oh, what's the video going to be today?" And like I'm really sort of like, oh, I nearly said heart led, but honestly, that's actually a really good way to end because I do feel like I'm living from my heart now. All right, I'll leave you with that. Peace.